before moving on to my experience with online education, I would like to talk about the points which the professors talked about in their own panel discussion. So, two of the points which I would actually like to talk about is accessibility to not only resources, particularly the internet, as well as technology overuse as well. I feel that these are two pertinent points to talk about. So, first of all, with regard to accessibility in a country like India, where uh, there is a lot of diversity, not only in terms of cultural, religious, or ethnic diversity, but also there is a lot of income inequality as well. So, when you talk about resources and accessibility to resources, that is a very important factor in which any person has to take into consideration before making any decision for not only a university or not only for the government as well. So, these are some factors which they have to take into consideration. But my university has at least handled this pretty well, I believe. They have provided data packs to students and they are saying that they will reimburse the cost of it as well. So that is a positive step which is being taken by colleges. Other colleges have also promised to give laptops from the next semester to students who are really underprivileged. Some colleges are also thinking about waiving off fees as well. So a lot of positive steps are being taken, but there are also some steps which are taking a lot of time as the government is still deciding what to do with final year students, especially in courses like law, where the final year is very, very crucial in terms of job prospects as well as litigation. So the government is still struggling with it, as well as the universities are struggling with making suitable adjustments. The second point which I would also talk about is technology overuse, because the more we rely on online education and more we engage with it, uh, I believe the more we are susceptible to the overuse of technology. Because at least for me, in the free time which I had in my hostel, uh, every time after every free period which I would get in my college, I used to either try to relax while watching videos on YouTube or watching Netflix or watching any other random show. So we were already quite in touch, I would say, with technology, but online education also puts a lot of stress on technology, not only for the students but for the teachers as well. Uh, so these were the 2 points which I wanted to talk about before talking about my experience with online education. So there are quite a few problems which I find with online education. Like those are the challenges I face. One is the engagement with the professors I have. So especially in the field of law on complex subjects like jurisprudence and stuff like that. Uh, and a discussion oriented lecture is much more appropriate than a theory based lecture, because a discussion based lecture actually allows the students to engage on the topic really well. And for me personally, I don't find it very comfortable to ask questions in class, so I tend to ask professors afterwards. So my university being a residential university, it was very easy for us to approach teachers in their faculty rooms and to actually reach out to the professors even after lectures, which is not possible after any online lecture, right? So those are some of the challenges that I found with engagement with the professors. And I think the professors also in the online lectures which I attended, the professors also had some difficulty with gauging the attentiveness of not only the students as well as their interest, because that was very easy to do in normal lectures. The teachers could tell us if the students were bored, or if the students were not enthusiastic about any particular subject, or if it was time to move on from one subject to another. So that becomes relatively very easy for teachers to do. Uh, but with online education, new challenges are obviously arising. The second point which I wanted to talk about is internships at firms and courts. So, as a student of law, it is very, very crucial for my education to actually find out internships and actually apply for internships. And these are court-oriented internships, most of them, if we talk about litigation firms or even if we talk about other firms as well. So a lot of it goes into applying to firms and going to that particular place and traveling to court every day. But with the lockdown, especially the kind of lockdown we have in India, it becomes very, very difficult for us to even apply to such firms, because a lot of firms are not giving out the option of virtual internships as well, and it doesn't even make sense because uh, if we look at the current pandemic situation, we would prefer to look at it as temporary and not sort of a permanent situation. So we would look back to going back to the traditional court system, right? So having an experience of virtual internship is a benefit. I'm not denying that, but having more engagement with the traditional court system, traveling to courts, being in the courtroom makes a difference. So internship, a lot of my batchmates are also facing this problem with internships at firms and traveling to courts because that is where we get a majority of our practical experience. But at the same time, a lot of my batchmates and I are adapting to it by focusing more on writing research papers or attending courses, going for certificate courses and stuff like that, or coming up with our own projects like writing blogs and stuff like that. So we are trying to utilize that time because out of the 12 months of the year, 4 months are around 3 to 4 months are for internships. That is the level of importance which it carries, at least in the Indian legal education system. Uh, the third point which I wanted to talk about was the environment. So the environment in a traditional classroom system, I believe, is much more suitable for uh, learning. I believe because it kind of imposes a discipline on not only the students but also the professor who is teaching us in terms of not only gauging each other's responses but also attention, which I believe is very very important. I can attend online lectures in my bedroom or in the hall in front of a TV while putting the lecture on mute, and that doesn't really uh, go well with learning. So even if I try to sit down and be like, I'll not distract myself, I'll still have my cell phone near me or I'll still have any other form of distraction with me. And that is true with a lot of my batchmates as well, who do not who do not live in a nuclear family. Indian society is sort of a big household, and there are a lot of distractions which come with it. So there are a lot of cultural barriers as well, which pose a challenge to online education in terms of attention span and distractions. So the environment for me is a very crucial point to talk about because the traditional classroom system, in my opinion, is very, very engaging of sorts. So I'm able to focus more on the lecture. Like the teacher uses the whiteboard, I use my notebook and pen. I don't type it out on my notebook and stuff like that. So it becomes very, very engaging of sorts. The next point I wanted to talk about is the social factor. So in college, we used to have a lot of extracurricular activities. Like we used to have quizzes each and every week, or we used to have fests, or we used to go to fests in other colleges. But because of the situation in India right now, uh, we have a lot of problem connecting with other students as well. So what we do to connect is we again resort to technology, which again leads to the overutilization of technology. Like we'll play games to connect with each other, or we'll call each other. So it puts an over reliance on technology. Uh, that was about the de-stressing part because this at least the situation in my city, Mumbai, is very very grim right now because we are well over 70,000 cases in a very very small city. So that also puts a lot of stress in a lot of the places where COVID is really on the rise. So that also puts a lot of stress, and there are very few mediums to de-stress right now because we cannot go out because of the lockdown. We have trouble interacting with other students who have challenges with accessing technology as well. Because some parts of India, even though the college gives you a data pack, some parts of India are so remote that data also doesn't work there. Or there are some places where the government has imposed restrictions on data and stuff like that. So de-stressing also becomes an important part of any student's life. Uh, the last part I wanted to talk about was exams and where a lot of these challenges emanate. I believe the majority of challenges which are coming forward is because we have a traditional education system and we are trying to apply modern means to it. So, like a traditional university with its traditional curriculum, like in our legal education system, we have a definite curriculum before we even join the law school. So we will have transfer of property law, we'll have civil procedural law. So we have this definite curriculum, and to adapt to take that curriculum and apply modern means like video conferencing and stuff like that to it becomes very challenging. Whereas if you look at other platforms like Coursera or Khan Academy, they have a different audience altogether. They are the audience there actually has the means to it, and as well as a different intent to it. Right. So, for example, if I am attending a international humanitarian law course on Coursera, the uh, level of engagement there and the intensity there, as well as the depth in which to go with the topic, is completely different. So, I believe that if we look at it on a very basic level, things become a lot clear to us in terms of the design of curriculum and how we have a traditional education system and how we are applying modern means to it. The second part I wanted to talk about before I finish off my speech here is the exam part of it. So the Indian education system, particularly the legal education system, is particularly involved or focused upon the exams. So a college before, I guess around March, a college decided to hold online examinations. But a lot of students protested that decision because a lot of students in our college had challenges to access such technology. So the college actually considered this decision, and they said that we will not take online examinations. But still, the Bar Council of India, which is responsible for the legal education in India, is still pushing for traditional exams, or rather online exams, or assignment oriented exams. But that begs me to question the very purpose of examinations. Uh, because for me, examinations are not only for the student to assess their own learnings from the course, but they're also for the teacher to find out where the student is lacking, or how, the depth of the student's learning. So that becomes very important, because I remember the previous semester when we had written examinations, we used to get feedback forms from the college to give our feedback on how the course was. So I believe that this type of traditional examination, like written papers and stuff like that, or even online exams, uh, we should look at it from a different perspective of actually trying to adjust, because this entire regime of online education which you are seeing right now is, I think, primarily based on adjustment to the challenges posed by not being actually able to engage in a traditional education system. So I believe we need to look at it from not only the convenience perspective, but also how we can get uh, the most amount of learning in a very engaging manner to the student, as well as at the same time ensure that the teacher does not have any problems with accessing technology or using technology, and assessing whether their students have learned something or the depth of their learning. So I believe these are the certain challenges, as well as my experience with online education. I would say it's pretty average, I guess, because I myself have no difficulties with accessing resources right now. But I guess I'm few of the privileged ones, if I could say so. But overall, I would say it's a fair experience, and I would thank Professor of the Borders for giving me this opportunity.